Here are 10 more times Stewie Griffin became completely traumatized. Brian and Peter were digging through boxes in the storage room, probably looking for something useful, which was already a stretch. Brian opens one box and finds Peter's old music albums.
Well, Peter, you got some pretty cool albums here.
Yeah, well, I was one cool potato back in the day.
You know, some of these might actually be worth something.
Peter, thinking he was ever cool, is the real collector's item here. Brian suddenly finds an album that stands out. He rushes to show Stewie, expecting a fun reaction. Spoiler, that didn't happen.
Check it out. Oh, what's the matter?
What the hell is that? A killer robot monster?
No, it's News of the World. It's an album by the band Queen, see? Stewie, relax.
Stewie reacts like someone just showed him a live grenade. Not a classic rock album. Brian tries to calm him down, explaining it's just a record cover. But Stewie's brain had already hit full panic mode.
Is it looking at me? Can it see me?
Man, you're really scared of this thing, huh?
Does it eat little boys?
I don't know, maybe, if it's hungry.
Stewie's convinced the robot's alive and coming for his soul. Meanwhile, Brian's making jokes like it's open mic night. Seeing how terrified Stewie is, Brian, being the responsible adult dog he is, decides to buy the album from Chris. Not to protect Stewie, but to scare him even more. The next morning, the psychological warfare continues.
Good morning, Rupert. Please tell me you set the timer on the coffee maker because I completely forgot.
You son of a bitch!
Stewie just wanted coffee, and instead, he nearly had a heart attack before breakfast. Great start to the day, but Brian's not done playing games. He takes Stewie to the gas station and gets him a scratch card, letting the suspense build. Stewie scratches away, full of hope. You'd think he was on the verge of becoming a millionaire.
Cherry? Another cherry? Oh, come on, one more.
Thanks, Carl.
Yeah, you're welcome. That was fun.
Stewie's pure joy lasted a full 10 seconds before Brian brought him back to his regularly scheduled trauma. Later that day, Brian walks into Stewie's room and wow, what a scene. Stewie's in full doomsday mode.
Stewie?
Rupert, we won't give that evil robot the satisfaction of killing us. We'll go together, on our own terms. See you on the other side. Oh my God! Stewie, no!
Yep, Stewie wrote a suicide note over a rock album. Therapy might want to pencil him in. Brian manages to stop Stewie right before he goes over the edge. He's shocked, but not nearly as shocked as he should be for someone interrupting a toddler's final goodbye.
What the hell's wrong with you? It's that robot. He killed Queen and now he's going to kill me.
He didn't kill Queen. They're all fine. Most of them are fine.
Stewie, thinking the robot cover actually killed Queen is the kind of logic only a scared baby genius could come up with. Brian finally starts acting like a real friend. He sits Stewie down and explains that it's all fake. No robot, no murders, no Queen-related disasters.
Look, Stewie, I'm sorry for scaring you, all right? But come on, it's not a real robot. See? It's just an album. Look. Here, you want to hit it?
Brian's solution to trauma. Punch the album. Therapy in a nutshell. After all the screaming, fear, and breakdowns, Stewie finally picks up the album and does what any normal baby would do. Tries to eat it.
This is just an album.
Yeah, that's what I've been trying to tell you. So, can you forgive me?
I suppose so.
A moment of peace. Until Brian finds a new way to ruin Stewie's day tomorrow. Stewie learned the scary robot was just fake art on an album cover. But knowing Brian, he'll probably find new ways to scare Stewie tomorrow. Peter and Chris were sitting in front of the TV, probably doing what they do best. Nothing useful. That's when Lois walked in, looking all excited because Stewie's first birthday was coming up.
Well, everything's all set for Stewie's birthday party. I can't believe he's almost a year old.
Yeah, I'll never forget the day he was born.
Peter, acting like he remembers the day Stewie was born, is the biggest surprise here. He probably thought babies came from Amazon. Stewie walks in during this heartwarming moment, and Peter tries to tell him about the birthday plans. But trying to explain a birthday party to a 1-year-old? That was never going to go well.
Plans? The devil are you talking about?
It's your birthday, dude!
Saturday's gonna be real special, honey. I've hired a professional to make sure everything goes just right.
A professional? There's treachery afoot.
Only Stewie could hear birthday party and immediately assume an assassination plot. Later that night, while normal babies sleep or drool on their pillows, Stewie grabs his diary and starts writing like a paranoid little villain.
Dear diary, it seems the domestic overseers are plotting against me. Their plans somehow relate to the anniversary of my escape from the womb. I'm still haunted by the memories of how I came to be incarcerated in that amniotic attica.
Most toddlers worry about snack time. Stewie worries about being re-imprisoned in his mother's womb. Totally normal. Now, fully convinced that someone is coming to shove him back inside the womb, Stewie gets to work. His genius-level brain decides only one thing can save him: a mercenary army.
So, the man in white is coming to put me back in the womb, is he? Well, if I'm to defeat him, I shall require professional forces. Yes, there we are. Come to Managua, the mecca of mercenaries. I must prepare for my journey. Take grenades, mace, baggie full of Cheerios.
Even Rambo didn't pack this seriously. And of course, he remembers the most important survival tool: Cheerios. While Lois was decorating and baking cake like a Pinterest mom, Stewie was sneaking out of the house, suitcase in hand. His grand plan? Get on a plane and leave the country.
I've got an army to raise, and I must get to Nicaragua. I require a window seat and an in-flight Happy Meal. And no pickles! Oh, God help you if I find pickles.
Henry, I have a lost little boy.
The airport staff really handled this well, considering a talking baby just ordered a Happy Meal like a war general. Unfortunately for Stewie, airlines don't usually give international tickets to babies with grenades in their diaper bags. A friendly airport worker tries to help him, but Stewie instantly goes full spy thriller mode.
Well, hey there, little fella. Why don't you come with me? No, damn you! You're one of them, aren't you? What are they paying you? I'll double it. I'll give you whatever you want. Money, women, men.
Bribing strangers with cash and romance offers? This baby skipped the cartoons and went straight to Bond movies. The airport captain tries to get information out of him, nicely, but Stewie isn't folding. He's ready for the worst.
The only way you'll get me to talk is through slow, painful torture, and I don't think you've got the grapes. Oh, sounds like you don't want to go home. Are you running away?
Nothing says I'm completely fine, like threatening torture during a missing child report. Eventually, Stewie is returned home, probably against his will, but the trauma hasn't left him. So what does he do? He gathers other kids like he's forming a baby Avengers squad.
All right, men. The man in white is coming to put me back in the womb. Today he comes for me, but tomorrow it could be you. Or you. I offer you the opportunity to join me in glorious battle.
You know your childhood is weird when your first birthday turns into a war speech. Then, as if things weren't crazy enough, Stewie spots a poor man dressed in white and immediately assumes it's his womb attacker. His solution? Freeze him with a weapon. Obviously. Right after this chaos, Lois shows up like nothing happened and takes Stewie to blow out the candle on his birthday cake. You know, normal mom stuff.
Victory is mine!
Yes, and this cake is yours too.
Hey, Stewie, make a wish. If you blow out the candle, it'll come true.
That's right, little buddy. What do you want most in the whole world?
Lois is over here thinking Stewie's biggest wish is a toy truck. Meanwhile, Stewie's wishing for international safe houses and a rocket launcher. Stewie's first birthday party turned into a baby war against imaginary enemies. Next time, maybe he'll just ask for cake instead of calling in mercenaries. While having a sweet moment with Lois, Peter found a lump on his chest and instantly panicked, thinking it was deadly. Lois tried calming him, but he was already spiraling.
And that's easy for you to say. You get to keep both your cans.
Peter, don't talk like that. You'll see a doctor tomorrow and...
Oh, no. I'm not gonna see a doctor, Lois.
Peter, handling health scares like a true champion by ignoring them and complaining about boobs. Peter heads to the doctor, but not before spotting a black cat, black bird, and his brown neighbor. 3 bad omens in Peter's very questionable, very classic logic. At the hospital, Peter doesn't even wait for test results before asking the doctor how long he has left.
Mr. Griffin, I'd say you have about a month to live. But hey, what the hell do I know? I've been sued by every patient I ever had.
Comforting words from a guy with the same success rate as a blindfolded surgeon. Meanwhile, back at home, Stewie was having breakfast. Lois walked in with her sweet mom voice, telling him she'd put him down for a nap. But Stewie wasn't having it. Not today.
No, I shall put you down for a nap, Mother.
Stewie continues his lifelong war against authority, starting with nap time. Later, the test results finally came in, and surprise, Peter wasn't dying after all. Lois was thrilled, already planning their happily ever after.
Isn't it wonderful, honey? Your father is alive and well, and we can be a family for a good long...
She really should have knocked on wood because right then, someone knocked on the door. Peter answers it thinking it's probably a delivery guy, but no. It's the Grim Reaper himself, holding a clipboard.
I'm Callista Flockhart. Who the hell do you think I am? I'm Death. Which one of you is Peter Griffin?
He is.
Death shows up with the same energy as a sarcastic barista who's done with everyone's nonsense. While Lois and Peter panic, Stewie is having a total fanboy moment. He walks right up to Death, acting like he just met his favorite rock star.
Susie, hello, I'm Stewie. Big fan. Look, Death, you made a mistake. I'm not really supposed to be dead.
Oh, I made a mistake, huh? Then what do you call this?
Stewie casually debates mortality with Death like he's ordering coffee at Starbucks. As Death prepares to do his job, Lois, ever the loyal wife, stands in his way. Meanwhile, Stewie, ever the social host, thinks it's rude to treat their guests so coldly. He invites Death to stay for dinner like it's Thanksgiving.
Is that turkey?
Yes, Death, we were in the middle of a turkey dinner to celebrate Peter's good health.
Oh, do you mind?
Mind? Of course you wouldn't mind. It would be an honor.
Nothing says, I forgive you for trying to kill me, like passing the mashed potatoes. Things get emotional as Peter starts saying his goodbyes. Stewie, of course, remains his usual sarcastic self.
Stewie, I guess I'm not gonna be here to see you become a man.
Yes, I think we all know what that's going to be like.
Peter's dramatic farewell was so cheesy. It could have been served with crackers. But then Peter decides to run for it. Death chases him, but while doing so, he slips and injures his ankle. Instant karma.
Ah, my ankle! Yeah, that felt good driving me hard on the couch like that.
Death having a meltdown while Peter drops him like a sack of potatoes. Beautiful. Now stuck with a limping Grim Reaper, Lois treats him like any other annoying guest, with meds and passive-aggressive kindness.
It's a sprained ankle. I just have to stay off it for a few days.
Wait, you can't stay here.
Why not?
You're trying to kill me. Besides, how are we supposed to explain you to Mr. Roper?
While all this is happening, Stewie decides it's the perfect time to try and kill Lois. He kicks her down the stairs, drops a cupboard on her, and even blows it up. Just toddler things.
Victory is mine!
Wow, I should really watch where I'm going.
Stewie's murder attempts are so casual, it's basically his version of hide and seek. Meanwhile, with Death off duty, Peter decides he's now immortal. He causes chaos all over the city, jumping off buildings, drinking himself senseless, even shooting people. Laws of nature? Never heard of them. Stewie, on the other hand, is having the time of his life, bonding with Death like they're old buddies at a summer camp.
Ah, that feels good. You know, actually, kid, I just kind of fell into this gig. You know, I really wanted to be a wood nymph.
Death opening up about his dreams like he's in a midlife crisis support group. But eventually, Death's ankle heals. He's ready to return to work, but Stewie, already too attached, isn't ready to say goodbye.
Oh, but you just got here. We can stay in touch, can't we? Oh, what's your email?
Stewie, trying to slide into Death's inbox like they're pen pals. As Death finally leaves, he drops one last line that sends shivers down everyone's spine.
I'll be back really, really soon. Is he joking? Okay, see you later.
Nothing like a surprise death threat to wrap up a family dinner. Death became the family's dinner guest after trying to kill Peter. When Death finally left, he promised to come back very soon. The episode kicks off with Stewie living his usual fantasy life, pretending to be a lonely space explorer with his stuffed buddy, Rupert.
You know, Rupert, I miss the Earth so much. I miss my wife. It's lonely out in space. Uh-oh, Rupert, we've got company. And I don't think it's the Avon lady.
Because nothing says normal toddler like space sadness and imaginary alien attacks. In reality, he wasn't in space. He was bothering Peter, who just wanted to watch his ball game in peace.
Got you! Got you! Got you! Got you! Got you!
Stewie, get lost. Daddy's trying to watch the ball game.
Peter's game time being ruined by a pretend laser battle. Stewie's energy was on full blast, and Peter was 5 seconds away from faking his own death. So, Peter pulls out a classic dad move, lying.
Hey, look, Stewie. Rupert wants to go play down in the basement. Hey, Stewie, I'm gonna go play down in the basement.
Smooth move. Tricked the toddler into going into a cold, dark place filled with junk. Parenting level, expert. Stewie heads downstairs looking for Rupert, but ends up digging through a box of old junk and finds something interesting.
There you are. Wow, look at all the old stuff down here. Hello, what's this? What I Learned on Jefferson Street, written by H. Brian Griffin.
Oh, yes!
Stewie finds Brian's dusty old script. The dog once had dreams. Shocking. Brian, suddenly filled with pride, rushes to force Lois to read it.
You know, Lois, you might actually be interested in reading this. You might like this. You should look at it.
All right, damn it!
That's not a suggestion. That's a hostage situation with paper. After much nagging, Lois finally reads it, and shockingly, likes it.
It was enchanting. This Brian Griffin? I've never met this Brian Griffin. I would have told you last night, but I was 100% sure you ripped it off.
Even when she's impressed, she still thinks he's a fraud. That's marriage. Meanwhile, Chris enters Meg's room and starts going through her personal stuff, because boundaries don't exist in this house.
Dear Diary, still no sign of that tampon from last week, but the headaches are getting worse.
Well, Chris found more than he bargained for. Welcome to Meg's TMI Corner. Meg walks in, sees Chris reading her diary, and loses it. She chases him, and chaos begins. In the madness, they push Stewie down the stairs.
Well, I'm off to buy imaginary groceries.
Do you think he's okay?
I don't know.
Ah, yes. They casually discuss Stewie's condition like it's a dented toy and not their actual baby brother. Then comes the blame game. Who pushed Stewie? Nobody wants to be the villain.
You idiot! This is your fault!
My fault? You were the one chasing me?
You were the one reading my diary!
The classic, I'm not guilty if I scream louder than you strategy. They look at Stewie's still body and hope for the best.
Is he breathing?
It looks like it. That's a good sign, right?
If he's kinda breathing is the bar for being fine, then this family needs help. Later, they quietly put him in bed and nervously wait.
Chris, I'm worried. Stewie's still unconscious.
Maybe he's just sleeping.
Is Stewie in here?
Yeah, yes.
That pause was pure guilt wrapped in a stutter. Lois, clueless as ever, calls them to bring Stewie down for dinner.
It's time for his dinner.
Oh, don't worry, Mom. We'll bring him down. Anything I can do to make your life a little easier.
Translation: we may have broken your baby, but dinner must go on. So they dress Stewie up like a cowboy, hat over his face, and pretend all is well.
Oh, look at my little cowboy.
Come on, Stewie, up in your high chair.
Boy, he must be starving.
Yep, he's really chowing down.
He's as stiff as a scarecrow, but sure, let's pretend he's just super focused on dinner. Later, Meg and Chris are washing the unconscious Stewie, trying to fix things their way.
Maybe we should take him to the hospital. I think the maggots have evolved to the point that they've developed space travel.
We just gotta clean the wound, Meg. Hand me that scrub brush.
Forget medical care. Scrub brushes and denial are the tools of choice. Then Peter walks in and treats the whole thing like a learning moment.
Good, Chris. I've taught you well. You got the right instincts.
Yes, Peter just congratulated his son for not taking a dying baby to the hospital. He even hands Meg a to-do list of hats.
You just gotta cover it up and eventually it all works out. Meg, this is a list of hats. I need these by 4 o'clock. Good idea.
When in doubt, accessorize your way through disaster. Now they take Stewie out like it's a normal park day.
Chris, did you put a coonskin cap on Stewie?
No. Why?
They look like little robbers.
Ah, yes. Nothing distracts from a possible coma like a raccoon cat. Back at home, Peter takes command like a true idiot general.
I think we gotta take these bandages off and see what we're dealing with here.
Sure, let the guy who once ate a tube of glue take charge of medical care. They unwrap Stewie's head and the smell hits.
Oh, crap. You smell that? That's brain smell.
Okay, I don't care what you say. He's really hurt, and I'm gonna do what I should have done in the first place. I'm taking him to the hospital.
Brain smell? Yep, that's the moment you realize things are finally serious. But Peter, ever the genius, decides to fake an accident. As Lois heads out, he tosses Stewie under the car.
Oh no! He's unconscious! Peter, we have to cover this up.
If this family didn't love covering things up, they'd have their own Netflix crime doc by now. Eventually, Stewie wakes up, super confused and super mad.
Hey, I just found out it's November. What the happened?
You know it's bad when even Stewie can't make sense of the timeline. Meg and Chris accidentally knocked Stewie unconscious and tried to hide it with hats. Stewie woke up weeks later, very confused and very angry. Stewie was glued to the TV, watching a show about a fancy British rich family. He was totally mesmerized by it, imagining how amazing it would be to live like that. Meanwhile, Brian was sitting nearby, clearly bored out of his mind.
Oh, this is the fastest moving episode I've ever seen. Oh, wouldn't it be marvelous to be a part of a family like that?
Stewie, dreaming big while Brian's already checked out mentally. Classic mismatch. Just as Stewie was getting lost in his fantasy, Peter and Chris barged in, fighting each other with mattresses like it was a gladiator match. Stewie's perfect picture of a rich, elegant British family instantly shattered.
Stop it! I'm trying to watch my program.
Well, Chris, look, Mom's naked.
Where?
You creep.
No!
Because nothing says class like screaming about your mom's nudity in front of the toddler. Great timing, guys. Then the TV broke, right at the worst moment, and Stewie almost lost it. Not because the TV was broken, but because his precious show was interrupted.
You imbeciles! You ruined my night! I asked for one thing in this house!
Stewie, just watch your show upstairs.
I didn't want to watch it upstairs on the small TV!
Stewie's tantrum hits peak meltdown. Lois's solution? Send him to the tiny TV prison. In his room, Stewie threw a full tantrum, biting Lois, then hitting Meg. Classic baby rebellion. Finally, Lois locks him up so he could behave.
I hate you! You always ruin everything! God, it's a family of idiots! I wish I was never born!
If you think this sounds dramatic, congratulations, you've met Stewie. Brian walked into Stewie's room and was floored to find a fully built time machine sitting there. Overnight, because, of course.
I loathe this family. Being born into it was clearly some sort of cosmic mistake, so I'm going back in time to prevent that mistake.
Stewie's level of commitment to family hatred is Olympic gold worthy. Time travel to erase his own existence? Yep, totally normal. Stewie traveled to the past to break up his parents before they could ever become his parents. His first attempt? Shaving Peter's head and trying his best to ruin their love.
None of my attempts to break them up has worked thus far, so I had to up our game.
When subtlety fails, go big or go home. Or build a bigger time machine. Eventually, Stewie's plan worked, and he was reborn into the perfect rich British family. He even had a line of servants catering to him like a tiny royal.
I will now hand you over to your mother. This will be our last physical contact until I give you a firm handshake on your 18th birthday.
God, this is everything I've ever wanted.
Stewie, living the dream. Proper British stiff upper lip and all. But after some time, Stewie's shiny new life lost its sparkle. He realized maybe breaking up his parents wasn't the genius move he thought it was.
I don't like it here at all. I miss my family, my dumb family.
Turns out, even a rich British family can't compete with the chaotic mess that is the Griffins. So Stewie built his time machine again, determined to go back and stop himself from breaking up Lois and Peter in the first place.
But you must believe me, the Griffins are your true destiny. No, they're not, they're morons. But they're your morons, and they care about you.
Basically, your family sucks, but they're your kind of suck. Stewie used time travel to get a perfect British family, but missed his crazy real family. He learned that even terrible families can be the right families. The Griffin family was invited over to Joe's house for a barbecue. Lois thanked Joe warmly for the invitation, glad to have a break from the usual chaos. As Joe manned the grill, he asked if anyone wanted to come over and comment on how the barbecue was going. Naturally, Peter jumped at the chance, rushing over like a food critic in training.
Oh, yeah. Oh, those are looking good. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, don't flip them too often now. You don't want to lose the juices. Yeah, coming along nicely. Oh, those are cooking just fine.
Peter's expert grilling advice. Enthusiastic, vague, and mostly just repeating, yeah. The barbecue is clearly in good hands. Meanwhile, Stewie was off playing by himself with his Barbie dolls, perfectly content. That is, until Susie came along and swiped one of his Barbies. Stewie was caught totally off guard by the sudden attack.
Hey, I was playing with that! Hey, come back here! All right, you asked for it.
Stewie's polite demand quickly escalates into baby battle mode. When someone messes with your toys, all bets are off. Peter and Joe were still focused on the grill when they heard the ruckus. Peter turned around, shocked by what he just witnessed.
All right, let's try that one again.
Oh my God, Stewie!
Ha! Your kid got beat up by a baby girl.
Oh, man, this is more painful to watch than when Family Ties does a Tina Yothers episode.
Peter's commentary is as colorful as ever, comparing toddler fights to painful 80s TV moments. Brutal, but accurate. Later that night, Lois was busy disinfecting Stewie's battle wounds. She assured him it wouldn't hurt, but of course, it did, and Stewie was furious.
Ah, those lying bastards at Johnson & Johnson!
Stewie's epic betrayal by antiseptic products. When it won't sting really means prepare for pain. Peter strolled in and told Lois she shouldn't be disinfecting Stewie's wounds. He claimed Stewie should be a man about it. Lois, not buying any of that macho nonsense, told Peter to let it go and accept the situation.
My baby boy got beat up by a girl.
What was weird was that she was crying, but the way she was standing over me made it look like I was crying, which was weird.
Peter's confused interpretation of the fight? Victim, aggressor, and bystander all rolled into one. Peter sat down next to Stewie and told him he was going to make him a man. Suddenly, he switched into full-on motivational coach mode, yelling at Stewie like a drill sergeant.
What's that? You think you're better than me?
What? No, I didn't say that.
So I guess you think you would have been some kind of big shot by my age, huh? Done things differently? Gotten that promotion?
I don't even know what you do.
Well, let me tell you something. You're nothing, and you're never gonna be nothing.
Peter's parenting style. Brutally honest and questionably helpful. Stewie's probably reconsidering his life choices. Peter dragged Stewie to the gym and told him to lift some weights. Unsurprisingly, Stewie struggled, barely moving the bar. Then a stranger appeared.
Ah, your kid just needs a little help. I got something that'll get him going.
Well, if there's anyone I can trust, it's a stranger at the gym holding a dirty needle. Here, Stewie, try this.
Because who wouldn't trust a random gym rat with questionable morals and a syringe? What could go wrong? After taking the mysterious steroid shot, Stewie hit the gym hard. Soon, he was flexing muscles that even Peter envied. He was amazed at how powerful he looked.
Wow, Stewie, you look like a new man.
Well, will you look at me? I have the power!
Stewie's steroid-fueled ego matches his new biceps. Tiny baby, huge gains. When Stewie strutted back home, Lois was shocked at his transformation. She immediately wanted to know how he got so ripped. Peter proudly took credit for the steroids. Lois was not impressed and let him have it.
What's going on, B-? What's a heps?
Stewie, you look gross.
Sorry, Stewie, but steroids aren't exactly cute baby material. Days later, Stewie woke up thinking he was still a muscular powerhouse. But to his horror, all his bulk was gone.
Ah, another day of being huge. Good morning, guns of Navarro. Oh no! What's happening?
From king of the world to normal baby in seconds, welcome to the cruel reality of steroids wearing off. Brian was standing in the doorway ready to serve some hard truths.
I'll tell you what's happening. Your steroids have worn off. You're weak like everyone else. And guess what? There's a toll in the hall now.
Brian's reality check. Steroids are temporary, but the embarrassment is permanent. Also, apparently, the house now has a toll booth. Stewie, not ready to face defeat, tried to stand his ground, but when Brian advanced, he panicked and ran away.
Stay away from me. Stay away from me!
Stewie, no!
And now, here's something we hope you'll really like.
Stewie's classic cowardly retreat when confronted with the truth. And Brian's got one more surprise up his sleeve. Stewie got super strong with steroids, but turned back into a weak baby. His next adventure would be even bigger than muscles. It would change everything. The family was out at a restaurant, pretending to celebrate Lois's birthday while handing her gifts that clearly came from the dollar bin. Everyone was doing their part and pretending to care until Brian stepped up.
Oh, Brian, you don't have to give me anything.
Oh, well, give it back then. No, we have fun.
Oh my God, 2 tickets for a cruise? Brian, this is wonderful.
Finally, a gift that didn't come from the gas station. Brian was the only one with a functioning brain and a shred of class. Peter and Lois boarded the cruise ship like they were the king and queen of middle-class romance. Meanwhile, the rest of the family waved them off, looking half bored. That's when Stewie gave Brian his dramatic farewell.
Farewell, Brian, I'm off to sea. An hour from now, I'll be surrounded by seamen. Sperm whales and seamen. Ooh, a swallow.
Stewie, Peter and Lois aren't taking you with them. They've already boarded.
Stewie, as always, took it way too far. The man said goodbye like he was starring in a soap opera. Later, Brian noticed something strange. Stewie was walking around the house holding dangerous tools, looking like a villain in a spy movie. Brian asked where he was going.
I'll teach that hussy to go on a boat ride without me. When she returns, I'm going to put bamboo splinters under all her fingernails.
Yep, totally normal toddler behavior. Nothing says left behind, like planning tiny acts of medieval torture. But Stewie wasn't done. Nope. He continued his dark fantasy, louder and way creepier.
Then I'm gonna strip her down and tie her to the bed.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna make her crawl on her hands and knees while I drip hot candle wax all over her back.
Brian should have called child therapy yesterday. The baby skipped past tantrums straight into rated R revenge. Still confused about how a toddler planned to reach a cruise ship, Brian brushed it off. But of course, Stewie actually made it there.
Hello, Mother.
Stewie? What the hell are you... How did you get here?
Oh, there's a very simple answer to that. You drove me here, Lois.
This baby sarcasm was on expert level. Honestly, the kid needs a GPS tracker. Then came the big moment. Stewie pulled out a gun and was ready to complete his mission.
What are you doing with a gun?
Something I should have done a very long time ago.
I did it! I killed her! She's dead!
Well, that escalated quickly. Most babies cry when they don't get snacks. This one declared victory over his own mother. With Lois missing, everyone believed the worst. Peter, being Peter, moved on faster than a bad TV show.
Just remember, whatever you do, don't tell Chris I'm dating.
Peter, Lois has been dead for a whole year. You're gonna have to tell him sometime.
Peter, treating grief like a minor speed bump. Nothing says healing like sketchy dates and shady diners. Meanwhile, Stewie confided in Brian that Meg had been surprisingly nice to him since Lois disappeared. That raised some red flags.
Which is just what someone who pulled off the perfect murder would want you to think.
What the hell are you... Stewie, did you...
Brian's detective senses were tingling. And let's be real, Stewie's poker face is terrible. Stewie, of course, denied everything very badly.
My God, you did it. You actually did it. Oh God, I've really screwed myself up here.
When your plan works too well and now you're stuck living with guilt, even Stewie wasn't ready for the weight of a perfect crime. As things spiraled, Peter was being dragged into court, about to be punished for a crime he didn't commit. Right before the judge made it official, the courtroom door swung open.
Lois, you're alive!
Mom, you're alive!
Oh my gosh, Mom!
Just like that, Lois walks in, not dead, not even limping. Everyone cheers like it's a magic show. Peter, Meg, and Chris were overwhelmed with joy, but Stewie? He looked like he saw a ghost because, well, he kinda did.
Mom! We thought Dad killed you!
No, he didn't, Chris. But someone tried to.
Do you remember who it was?
Yes, I do. It was Stewie!
And boom! Just like that, the toddler's dreams of becoming the next evil genius were destroyed by Mom and her perfect memory. Stewie shot Lois on a cruise ship and thought he won, but Lois came back alive and told everyone what really happened. Lois was trying to convince everyone that Stewie had tried to kill her, but no one believed her, mostly because he's a baby, and babies usually don't carry guns.
Mom, Stewie's just a baby.
No, he's not, Meg. He's evil. He shot me point blank right on the deck of the cruise ship.
Lois was yelling about attempted murder while everyone else thought she just needed a nap. While the court tried to deal with the case, Stewie escaped like a tiny criminal mastermind. Back at home, the family was still in shock. Brian warned that Stewie needed to be caught fast, unaware the little villain was already home.
So, it's all out in the open now, isn't it?
Stewie, how long you been all messed up and evil like this?
Then, someone knocked at the door. It was Joe, checking in because he heard yelling. Stewie handled it in classic, creepy fashion.
Dog, answer it. Tell him yes, everything's fine.
Yes, Joe, everything's fine.
Totally normal. Just a baby ordering the dog to lie to the cops. Nothing suspicious at all. Time passed and Stewie's evil plan worked. He became world president. The family? Shocked. The world? Screwed.
Greetings, loyal minions.
Stewie?
Oh my god!
What the hell? Good gravy!
That moment when your toddler declares world domination and you're still trying to figure out potty training. But someone had to stop this madness. That someone was Lois.
Lois!
Stewie, your reign of terror has come to an end. I will not stand by while you make innocent people suffer.
She came in like a movie hero, except very tired and really mad. Stewie, now cornered, told Lois to shoot him.
I can't do it. You're a terrible, evil child, but you're still my baby, and I could never hurt you.
Even after all that, mom instincts kicked in. So Peter stepped in and handled things his way.
It's just been revoked.
Peter, he didn't really set you up for that lethal weapon line.
Peter couldn't resist the cheesy action line, even during a baby shootout. Classic. Stewie became world ruler, but Lois stopped his evil plan. Peter ended the whole mess with a cheesy movie quote. Stewie walked over to the couch with his best buddy Rupert, ready for their favorite time of the week, movie marathon day.
All right, time for Fast and the Furious 1 through 7. All right.
Because nothing says bonding like watching 7 movies about cars and family, especially with a stuffed bear. Stewie kept watching the movies nonstop. Brian, who had joined earlier, had already quit hours ago. Finally, even Stewie couldn't keep his eyes open anymore.
Sorry, Rupert, I think I'm down for the count. You okay if I go to bed? Oh, I like that we're comfortable doing things separately, too.
They're not just friends. They're an old married couple now. While heading to bed, he made one last request to Rupert.
Do me a favor and don't wake me when you come up, though. Yes, you do. You always step on the creaky board.
Yep, talking to a stuffed animal like it has its own bedtime. Totally normal. But the next morning, everything changed. Stewie walked into the living room and found Brian passed out drunk, surrounded by bottles and pieces of Rupert.
Oh my god. Rupert? No! Rupert! Rupert!
It was like a horror movie for toddlers. Pure emotional damage. Furious, Stewie slapped Brian awake.
You killed my best friend is what's going on!
Oh. Uh-oh.
Killing bastard!
Brian woke up with a hangover and a bear murder accusation. Not his best morning. Feeling guilty, Brian took Stewie to scatter Rupert's ashes on a mountaintop. It was weirdly peaceful.
Thank you, Brian. That was beautiful.
One stuffed bear, one emotional goodbye, and now Stewie's stuck with trust issues. And no movie buddy. Brian got drunk and accidentally destroyed Stewie's best friend, Rupert. They said goodbye to Rupert on a mountain, leaving Stewie heartbroken. Peter was holding Lois's sister's newborn baby and having one of those rare sweet moments. Then he got an idea, and of course, it was chaos waiting to happen.
Lois, let's have another baby.
What? Sweetie, you're not serious.
I sure am.
Because nothing screams responsibility like Peter deciding to expand the family after 5 seconds with someone else's baby. Everyone seemed thrilled about the baby news. Everyone except Stewie. He was not having it.
You're gonna have a baby brother, buddy.
Or sister.
Oh, a new baby. That's wonderful. Call me when Kojak starts. What? Another baby? But I'm the baby.
Stewie took that announcement like a dethroned king. The royal meltdown had begun. Realizing another baby meant less attention for him, Stewie made a very dramatic vow.
As God is my witness, from this day forward, Peter and Lois shall not conceive.
Yes, the baby declared war. This is totally normal behavior. For Stewie, step 1 in the plan, sleep between the couple like a human wall. Step 2, go full sci-fi and create a robotic Peter.
To the can, because kissing you made me barf.
What?
Stewie's idea of romance sabotage? Just act like Peter, but worse. Then he invented a machine that literally shrunk himself to go inside Peter's body. Yes, seriously.
If I'm going to reach the testicles and destroy the sperm before coitus, I must buy some time.
This baby skipped bedtime stories and went straight to microscopic warfare. Inside Peter's body, Stewie met another unborn child and thought he found a partner in crime. But the baby had other plans.
It's gonna be impossible to spend time together like this if we're raising another child.
Even the imaginary baby wanted no part in Stewie's drama. And that's a wrap on 10 more times Stewie Griffin became completely traumatized. If you want to see part 1 of times Stewie Griffin became completely traumatized, check out that video.